Jeff Hardy needs a lot of things, but a chainsaw is not one of them. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We know that Jeff Hardy can be a little bit out there. He can be a little bit dangerous. And the last thing you probably want to put in Jeff Hardy's hands is a chainsaw. But it turns out that's exactly what he might be having next week on Dynamite. Because it was announced on Rampage by Jeff Jarrett that he is going to challenge Jeff Hardy. He is going to face Jeff Hardy, Jeffrey Nero Hardy, in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match. You might be thinking, what the hell is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match? I'm thinking the same thing. I've no idea. But the match is going to happen. It's going to happen on the August 16th edition of AEW Dynamite. And the match is being done due to a sponsorship deal with the soon-to-be-released Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game. So AEW must have realised that their video game absolutely sucked, and they thought they were going to try and leech off another video game, which, to be honest, after seeing the trailer of this, I'm going to predict Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game absolutely sucks too. But it seems like they've given up on AEW Fight Forever. They're now going to focus their attention on this Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game, and they are doing a sponsorship deal with said game, and they're having a Texas Chainsaw Massacre deathmatch. So I've no idea what's going to happen. Is it going to be a death match, but inside Leatherface's house? Are we going to have Leatherface run about with a chainsaw? Is it going to be in the ring? Is it going to be a cinematic match? Not too sure. Will we get Matt Hardy's interference? Will we get Jay Lethal? Will we get all those people? Possibly. Satnam Singh is like 7'3". Will he be playing the role of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I don't know. Will he play Leatherface? I don't know. What I do know is, this is going to be crazy. I think this has got potential. I don't know how it's going to go. It could either be really fun, it could actually be extremely entertaining, or it could be a fucking disaster. Knowing AEW, I'm going to lean on the side of, it's going to be a disaster. But I think if done correctly, it could work. And when you look at the Hardy boys, especially Matt Hardy, and his history of doing the whole Hardy shit, the Hardy compound, I'll give him credit. He's done a good job. So I'm going to assume that Matt Hardy is, I'm not saying he's behind it, but I'm going to assume that he's working on it. And I think if it is a cinematic match, similar to the stuff that the Hardys had at the compound, then I think this has got potential. But I'm looking at who's in it, and yeah, Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Jarrett might sound good, but when you add in Sonjay Dutt, and Jay Lethal, and Jeff's wife, and Satnam Singh, when you add in those people, then you add in the bums that are hanging around with the Hardy boys that are under contract, it's like all of a sudden, I mean, this could get messy, and it could turn into a bit of a shit show. But I'm intrigued. I mean, it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre deathmatch. I have to be intrigued. I mean, it's not often, it's not like you get to see one of these in wrestling every single day. It's going to be the first one, and it could well be the last one. I'm just curious to see how it will go. I'm going to assume it's a cinematic match, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have to, is it like a chainsaw on a pole match? I don't know, do you have to climb a pole ladder to get some chainsaw? No idea, but it is going to happen next week on Dynamite. I know the Dynamite ratings are pretty poor. I know they're low. I know AEW's desperate to get them up. Didn't quite think they were this desperate though, so we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. Should be pretty entertaining. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Death Match. Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy. I guess we'll see a trailer for the game. Yeah, AEW's Dynamite looks not bad next week. They're packing it out, man. They know it all in's coming in soon, so they're going for it all. We've got a sit-down interview with Omega and Jim Ross. Jim Ross back on Dynamite. He's been kicked over to Collision, but it looks like they're allowing him back on Dynamite to do an interview. Yeah, the build-up to AEW All-In hasn't been great, so I think over the next couple of weeks we're going to see AEW just go absolutely crazy in order to try and get everything set up for the pay-per-view, and it looks like they're going to try and do that next week on Dynamite. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Deathmatch should be worth watching, I guess. I mean, even if it's a disaster, even if it does suck, it'll probably be entertaining in a way. So yeah, probably something worth checking out, guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace.